So what you can do is, or what one can do is, when one is applying for a job, Bosch or whatever company or whatever position it is, always try to make your CV relevant to the job what you're applying. So I have seen that many people does this mistake. Even when I was studying in Germany, I see, because in Germany there is nothing so called campus selection, yeah, like we have in India.
I welcome you,
Okay,
sir, on the behalf of Team The Golden Book. It's a pleasure to have you at the session, sir.
okay, thank you. The pleasure is also mine. And I will start with this is really a good initiative. So really good. So kudos to you guys to start this thing to have the alumni more stronger. I mean, this is the core strength of the alumni to have better networking and better communication. And this is really good. I'm really feeling good. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
sir, for
inviting me.
your appreciation.
Starting with the session, I would like to begin with my first question. That is, so basically, JEC is what connects us and it's where everything starts from. So, how do you remember JEC? And could you share some memorable moments of your college life?
So the journey started in 2005, and I still remember it was in, I think, June somewhere when I came to the college, and I was in electronics and communication engineering at that time, and I was also a hostler, so I stayed in hostel. My hostel was hostel number 7. So the 4 years, I mean, how to say, it's the best part of your life. It is something that will never come again, no matter whatever you do. So if you go even for higher studies like I did, India, abroad, but the 4 years that you spend and the things that you learn in this time, it is how to say it's incredible. In this time period, the main focus was to focus on the team building. Also, let's say, so do not think about self that you are alone, but think from your batch perspective. Yeah. So we were, I think, 8 or 9 or maybe 10 when we came in the first year, 2005. But after 1 year, we were only 7 left. Yeah. So we were, and then we stayed together. So first year was very challenging because it was a completely new atmosphere as well. So so I mean, if I tell about my family background, so my father had worked in Indian Air Force, so I was coming from that background, and then out of nowhere, I'm suddenly put into an hostel. So it was a little hard to cope as well. Uh, and then I met my classmate, my batchmate from different backgrounds. So it was, I mean, it was a roller coaster ride, I would say this way. Yeah. So we learned a lot. We did a lot of mistakes as well. So now everything is flashing. So it's really hard to put it into the words. Yeah. Everything that is coming to my mind. Starting second year, it was then quite relaxing. Then you entered into your senior phase of your study life. And then I mean, most of the time it's again spent in welcoming the juniors at that time. And then you also think about, okay, from third year onwards, your campus placement will start. Yeah, so that then again comes into the focus. Also in first year we had this I mean, everyone studies the same subject no matter which branch they are coming from. So it was just that something you study in one semester, first semester, the others are studying the same thing in the second semester. So from the first year it was more like I mean, the connection, I mean, we know many people, but from second year it was mainly going into the direction of your branch specific. And I still remember, I think it was second or third year, a band first time came to JEC. uh, I forgot the name. Dr. Sain, I think, the guy who sang this song, I mean, Dr. Palash Sain, if you remember, Euphoria band. So that was the
Yes,
first
sir.
band that, so it came, I think it was third year or maybe second. I don't remember exactly, but they came, and that was the only moment during study that we felt, okay, we do something else also apart from studying in the college. Uh, Third year was mostly with the all campus placement and all. I was not very fortunate, so I didn't got placed in the third year. So I was very confident that I would get crack the first company, which is normally TCS. But unfortunately, it was like I mean, I remember 6 semester I didn't get anything. In 7th semester, then I got selected in two companies. Vedanta was one, and I think Tata Power was second. So I got placement. Final year is mostly nostalgic. Half of the semester is gone in thinking, we are getting passed out now. What will happen? Blah blah blah. People who got the job, they are now discussing. So there's a different group. They discuss, okay, what to do next. And many of the people, they are also thinking, okay, we do some studies, or we prepare for something, some competitive exam, like this public sector PSUs. And and then at my time, UPSC wasn't that much. Let's say people were not that crazy. Though I have a couple of friends who did the preparation, but mostly it was about the PSUs like NTPC, Bell, and all.
My next question
So,
goes that what is the thing that you love most about the JC and you think that other colleges may not be able to offer?
oh yeah. So first of all, the curriculum and the labs that we have. Yeah. So I still remember there were we had in mechanical engineering there were, let's say, labs which are not available in any of the college, at least in Jabalpur at that time. Also in electronics and communication, we have this antenna lab where we can do the things. I mean, practically. So it's not just theoretically that you study and then so the infrastructure point of view was something that I'm really grateful that I got this. I mean, in my college, and the campus was huge. So this is something when I see now the private colleges and I see that they are just building around one build. I mean, the whole campus is just around one building. So in that matter, we were very lucky. It was a huge and big. I mean, it is still a huge and a big campus. So these things I think, that other colleges should also think about that it's not just one building, but you need to provide proper campus, you need to provide proper infrastructure for the students. So this is something that the JEC, tops, at least in Jabalpur, I would say.
My next question goes that could you share your journey of becoming a solution manager in Bosch and how did your experience from your education point of view and other experiences help in your role?
Okay. So now, solution manager journey is quite big. So like one of your classmate or batchmate said, start 13 years of experience. So in 2009, I started to work in Nokia Siemens Network. So I didn't went to any of the let's say companies which I got selected in the college. Instead, when I just finished the college, there at that time there was a GET, Graduate Engineer Training Program from Nokia Siemens Network. Now it is called as Nokia Networks. They started this program, and at that time I was living in with one of my classmates in Sarai in Delhi. So I mean, it's a place where you go to prepare for a IES exam, so Indian Engineering Services, or other PSUs exam. But me and my friend, we were not there for that because we already had placement. We were there only to. There was one exam, I think BARC was there, Baba Atomic Research Center, and we thought, okay, let's go there and let's prepare. How much we prepared, that is another thing. Yeah. So but anyway, at that time, this opportunity came, and then I applied, and fortunately I got the job offer. Yeah. So, and once I had it, then I worked for in Meerut for 2 years, I guess, 2 years or some months. And but during this time I was already preparing for MBA. So my goal was that once when I was in doing my bachelor, so I wanted to do higher studies. That was very clear to me, and I wanted to do MBA. That was only from IIM. So I was very specific. But unfortunately, my preparation wasn't like that. So yeah, I tried 3 times, but I couldn't get IIM. So I then left it. So I then switched to the MS side. But anyway, so this all happened when I was working as well. And after 2.5 years, I realized that I need to move to another city, which was Delhi or Noida, so Delhi NCR. Um, and at that time, Ericsson had this opportunity, so I applied. I got the job, but my main focus was then now either I go for MBA or MS. So MBA was it couldn't I couldn't clarify the last attempt. I mean, from my side. So I then thought to go to do MS in Germany. Fortunately, that worked, and I came here. And when I was studying here at that time, so I came with the mindset that since I'm working in Nokia and Ericsson, so I had the experience from the telecommunication. So that was the goal as well, that to study masters in the direction of telecommunication. But when I came here, I realized that Germany automotive or automobile sector is a huge sector, and there's a ample opportunity. Also, I realized that you need to learn German somehow. Yeah, so it's not like that you can live with just English language. Yeah, so here English is just a medium of communication. It's not considered as a special skill. So that was it, and then I thought, okay, and unfortunately at that time, telecommunication was already going into saturation with this 4G was coming at that time, and yeah, so there it was not a huge, let's say, market. It doesn't have the huge potential like it had when things changed from 2G to 3G. So I then switched my direction. That means I switched my courses. So then I took more courses which were in the direction of automotive industry, and then I started to work in a consultancy company. It's called Altran, and there I was working for Volkswagen company. So I mean, these are the consultancies you can work, and they have the project from the main OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, like these car makers. And then I started to also gain practical exposure, for example, in different area like requirement engineering and testing. Then after 1 year, I moved to Stuttgart and into another consultancy company. There I was working with Daimler, so which makes Mercedes, and the second was with Porsche. So these two companies I was working with for around 1 year. And this time I was gaining, let's say, what could be my next steps or requirement and all. This is something what I was focusing on as a requirement manager. And then there was an opportunity in Bosch, which I took, and I got started to work as a requirement manager. I think I worked for 3 years in this role, and during this time, I like you have with your managers to discuss, okay, where you would like to go, what is your plan. So it was clear to me that I would like to lead a team and also lead the project, and that's how then the plan. I mean, there were certain trainings need to be required. Then there was certain additional role like Scrum Master. So this is all now I'm talking about terminologies which are mostly to the software development field, which are now being used very quite frequently. So you might be aware of Scrum Master, Product Owner, Product Manager, like this. So yeah, so in this role, then I started slowly climbing the stairs. So I then became product manager, and since this year, I am now a solution manager. So your question was that how did it help? So for what let's say college helped me is like I told. So when I came in the first year, so we had students or let's say classmates from different backgrounds. So that the first thing that you are able to connect with the people who are coming from different background, different cultures. So that really helped. I would not say that it was as it is, but it get amplifies. Yeah. So in college, it's just only about different cultures and background, but the language is still the same. When you come to different country, then that aspect of the language also adds, and let's say the diversity in terms of culture and the background, that also stretches a lot. But anyway, the experience you have, you just need to amplify it, and that really helped me. Also, this thing what I learned in JEC, never to give up. Yeah, so this also helped. So onwards on wing, this is our logo. So so on me it was always like this. So once I have something, I always look for something. I mean, the next thing what I want to do, and then I start progressing in that direction. So that's how. I mean, I try to short my journey quite in a small time, but I hope you get the point.
How would you explain the transformation that came in your mindset from being a student to a working professional?
Ah, easy answer is you study it so that you can get a work. Yeah, that's why let's say we are doing engineering because it gives you an ample, how do you say it, opportunity to decide what you want to do next. How I would say, once you are done with your bachelor, yeah, so then I mean, so my philosophy was so that I always consider when you are 20 and until you become 30. So this 10 year of time is a time where one should always do experiments with their life. So experiment in terms of let's say the goals, for example, yeah, that what they would like to become. They should not worry about, okay, what if I fail. For example, I told my example, right? I planned for MBA. I gave CAT tries. I couldn't get, let's say, I my last score was somewhere in 92 percentile or something, but that was also too less even to get a call from a good MBA B schools. Yeah. So I this is it. So do not, let's say, focus only on one thing. I mean, it would also be wrong to say, but I mean, try different things as well. Yeah, try to see, okay, where you can excel. And this tenure of time, you can decide what you want to do. And once you get that opportunity, then you can, start to building your career on the top of it. So for example, you guys started, or maybe your senior started this Golden Book JEC. So if you think from this perspective, so for me, you are already doing it. Yeah, you're already in this step, because it's not required by curriculum. If I hope it's not changed. Yeah. So the curriculum doesn't say you have to do some sort of this initiative. It just come from within, and it is good. So keep it up. Yeah, do keep doing this, and this will help. Major, if I have to tell you from the work perspective or from the study perspective, it is language. So anyone who is coming to Germany, I would say that even if you don't learn German back in India, please do not come with this mindset that I will not learn, because that is not going to help you at all. One might get job. I won't say that it's not possible, but if you are ambitious and if you would like to grow in your career, then at some point you need to have a fluency in German. And I mean, language is not something that you learn a night and then tomorrow you are fluent. So you need to practice a lot. So I would say try it in India if you have planned, but if not, then come with this mindset that once I'm here, then I will start studying. So I think German was the main. Rest were all trivia, yeah, weather and all. I mean, it will also impact you, but not that much. I mean, if someone is interested to come to Germany, then like I said, important is to focus on the language. So that I always suggest, because courses or curriculum, I am pretty sure that you will cope it up, because they are offered in English. But the social life around it, there you definitely need German, and also for the professional growth, I would say this way, the German language is uh, as a must. No one says this very openly, but it's a must. And anyway, it helps you. So if you are here, so you all want to communicate, you want to, let's say, grow your network. So definitely you need to also learn also, let's say, speak the language. Regarding failure, so failures are part of life. Success and failure both are part of life. Somewhere you get success, somewhere you get fails. What is important is not to get depressed when you are when, let's say, this failure phase is coming into your life, and also not to get too overexcited because of your success. So what important is to learn. So from your success, also try to learn that what things you have done good, what are the areas where you can still improve, and from failures, it is very clear that okay, what not to do. So there is one thing, even if you're not able to understand what I have to do, at least you come to know from failures that what not to do. Yeah. So I would always suggest this. Uh, Very important is because now in today's world, there's a lot of information, and it's really hard to see or differentiate what is information and what is misinformation. So if you are planning something, then do not rely just on YouTube videos, or don't get overwhelmed or overexcited with this reels and whatever not is coming on the social media. Try to do your own research. Own research means that, for example, if you are coming to Germany for study, there are let's say, official websites from the universities, and even from the DAD program, so that, for example, you can follow it up, you can see it. Do not rely on any videos, just on videos that are because someone went and everything was fine for them, so it would be fine, or other way around, someone went and everything was really bad for them, so it would be bad for you. So don't get excited, don't get also overwhelmed, don't feel depressed. Important is to do the own research as well once you are applying. Regarding the job, I would say, you need to understand how the job process works. Yeah. So for example, as an applicant, you prepare your CV, you apply your CV for. Then if you see on the background, there is someone sitting, because there many CVs are coming. So it's not possible for an engineering manager, for example, to go through all of these CVs. This just takes too much time. And and time is equivalent to, you can say, equivalent to your money. So basically, if you're putting efforts into it, then you are also investing, putting your company resources into it as well. So the process is simple. When so many CVs come, there is someone sitting from the HR, or someone who has given this responsibility to look through the CV. This person need not to be a very technical person, yeah. But what he does mostly is to look at the keywords what are set inside the job description for which you have applied, and then matches with your CV. If the description matches good, then these CVs are passed to the hiring managers. Then they go through this CV, and then they see, okay, if they're interested or not, and that's how the interview cycle starts. So what you can do is, or what one can do is, when one is applying for a job, Bosch or whatever company or whatever position it is, always try to make your CV relevant to the job what you're applying. So I have seen that many people does this mistake. Even in when I was studying in Germany, I see, because in Germany there is nothing so called campus selection, yeah, like we have in India. So it's like once you finish your degree, you have to find your job your own. It's not, I'm not, it's not hard. It's easy also, but obviously for the first time it looks really different because we are not. Let's say I was, for example, for me it was something really scary at the start because I have not. I never did it. So I had jobs when I was studying. So important is to do that. Second is make cover letters, because cover letter, consider it like this. So whatever you cannot explain inside the resume or CV, you can explain it inside your cover letter. So always try to make these two things according to the job description and then go apply for it, and then you get interviews on. If you are not able to get selected in the first interview round or second, then you can think about what goes wrong, or the best is to ask. So here, this is also one good thing that I find. If you're not able, if someone get rejected from a company, then you can definitely ask for your feedback, and they provide you a very detailed or good feedback that where they see that you were lacking. So sometimes it is not even your fault. Sometimes it is something that they find someone better with better experience, less salary.
I would like to ask you that what would you suggest the freshers who want to join the automotive sector? Any of your suggestions?
Yeah, so I would start with this. So I'm still working for automotive sector. Yeah, so it was not I just worked before. Uh, Automotive sector is a huge sector. Yeah, so I mean, you have a car which have a lot of mechanical stuff, and then you also have software. If you see today's trend, software is let's say a new thing which is now selling inside the car. So now people are not only, let's say, or let's say the end user doesn't only want to have a high horsepower, but he or she is also interested to see how the car is from I mean, how comfortable the car is. So now coming to the practical part of it. So for example, you have one software development. So where I would suggest to focus on the embedded technologies, yeah, like for example C, C++, then a couple of operating system, example in Linux, QNX, or let's say POSIX based operating system, that one should focus on from the engine perspective. Someone coming from the mechanical background, so they, I mean, they already know because they are already in this field for a long time, so they can they know better than this. I'm mostly from the software side, so there I will then tell. uh, Apart from, let's say, this, there's also something now news coming, which is or not coming, which is already available. So autonomous driving, if you see it. So there are certain levels of autonomous driving, and for this autonomous driving, artificial intelligence and machine learnings are very, let's say, are the vital pillars of it. So I would suggest the students to focus, or who are having studying these branches should also focus from this perspective. So because this is nothing but it's mainly let's say having data from all the drivers, let's say the people who are driving the cars, and then to make a meaning out of this data. Yeah, so this is what is currently happening. Apart from it, if you are from a communication background, then you can again focus on in the automotive sector. So for this autonomous driving, as you know, so basically now what is happening, at least in Germany, there's a stretch in Wolfsburg where they have these antennas located, and then they are communicating with the cars, and the cars are driving. So you can also focus in for let's say the digital signal processing, DSP subject that you have. So in communication, so these are the field I would say you can focus on.
I would like to say my last question, which is, sir, what's your vision for JEC?
Um, so how to answer it? Yeah, my vision. So I'm really happy to first, like I said at the start, yeah, looking at this initiative, what you guys started, this Golden Book of JEC. So this is really good because I remember when I came here. So I was because I studied in Otto von Guericke University, so in Germany, in Magdeburg, and here the first thing that really, let's say, brought curiosity. So I was curious about is, apart from study, you have a lot of extracurricular activities. So there is a debate club here, there is a dance club, acting club, whatnot. Yeah, and there's also a strong group of alumni where, like for example, here you have one who notable, let's say, person from his or her field used to come and then give insight about his life, about his experience. So when I say this, so this is one thing that I was always looking forward, that at some point someone should definitely start this. So you guys started this Golden Book JEC. Second, what I also realize that these new courses, so this is also good because if I have to be very honest, what I studied in my bachelor was mostly the basics stuff. That doesn't have a direct connection with the professional work. Yeah, so it was not something that you study and you directly put that thing. So of course, what we studied was the basic, and it is definitely required. But I feel that the engineering studies, they are, I mean, they are meant to make you professionals or experts. So that should also go in this direction. It should follow the market in a way, or maybe lead, let's say, one step from the ahead of the market. For example, in Germany, where I was studying, there we had many research projects which were coming or sponsored by, sometime by the state, sometime by the companies as well, and sometime by university itself. So basically, they are trying making the students who can be fit into this in the market, and they can start working. And this I felt was not there when I was studying. So what I studied, it helped for the basics, but it was not, let's say. So for example, we were studying this C programming. Yeah, I still remember at that time we had this turbo.cc as a IDE. Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
we were I still remember the first line was td lib.h, and this, and now I know what does it, I mean, not now, but after working I came to realize what it is actually for, why it is called like this, what to do. But when I studied at that time, there was no such clarity. Then it was more focused on, you have to learn one program, how to do addition, how to do multiplication. Then there was one how do you call it, yeah, so you can write one to one, and then it should write other way around, parabolic, I forgot the word. So something like this. So the more focus was on to mark the things up and to put it into the paper in the exam, but it was not directly related with what's going when you are getting out of your university. So this is one thing I think I see that should definitely improve. So I again thank you guys for this session, and I'm really feel honored that you invited me. Yeah, so it is really also, how to say, a good feeling from my side as well that you, yeah, so you invited me or considered me to share my insights and experience. I hope it helped you.
Yes,
If
sir.
you have any question, you are always connect me via LinkedIn, so you can always ask there. So I am happy to provide answers as well, or let's say try to clarify your doubts in a best way as I can. And like I said at the start, this is really a good initiative, and keeps doing it. And for sure, it is going to be fruitful for the upcoming students who are coming to JEC. Really nice. So kudos to you guys as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.